everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. It is time for our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 371. And wahoo kachoo, we have a worldwide launch. We have an exclusive limited edition kit for you. I have got so much fun to play with. Did you guys hear that? I think it was the doorbell. I don't know if you can hear that, if it picked it up or not. Okay, it's late. It's really late here, so there's no way. So we have a gate that is locked so that people can't get, it's security. It's for security. And so when FedEx or UPS or DHL or whoever has a delivery, they ring the doorbell so we can go out and unlock the gate. I'm wondering if somebody was like walking along the street and just saw this random doorbell and decided to push it. Nobody's home, sorry. That was so random. That was so weird. Okay, so we've got this super wonderful YouTube for you today, a class. I hope you think it's super wonderful. Some of you are gonna be, I've been there, I've done all of that, and I have the t-shirt to prove it. Some of you are gonna be, oh, I forgot about that, and oh, I forgot about that too. Ooh, yay. And some of you are gonna be, I did not know you could do that with paper. It's the truth. All of you are in different stages in your crafty journey. Some of you are just beginning and everything is overwhelming and you don't even know where to start. Some of you are kind of in the middle. You're past the beginning stage. Like you're starting to get your vibe and you're starting to feel your own personality in your crafting. And some of you are like, holy smokes, artichokes. I was doing die cutting when we did it with a rolling pin over the die. So for any of you who are brand new, I think you'll have a great time. For those of you who are in the middle of this crafty journey, I think that it might bring back to mind some things you've forgotten. And for those of you who have been around as long as, well, me, or me, we're just gonna spend the day together, maybe 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. It just depends. You never know what it's gonna turn out to be, but we're just gonna have fun together. So I have got spellbinders for you. That is the exclusive kit. I thought we were all done with kits with spellbinders, not that I wanted to be done with kits, but that they couldn't make anymore. And poof, out of nowhere, truly out of nowhere, I get a call from Spellbinders Nicole. And she says, hey, we may have another kit that we can put together for you. Would you be interested? And I'm like, well, of course I would, Nicole. Hello. So we have that. And then Ozzy Andrews said, hey, Stacy, what do you think of these sentiment stamps I have? And I'm like, well, they're cute. They're nice. I see the usefulness for them, but the price was meh. And he said, what if I gave you the worldwide launch and let you offer them at a bundle price that is, as he says in his Aussie accent, holy smokes, artichokes. I said, well, I think I like them a lot better, Ozzy Andrew. And then I have paper. And you're like, paper? I'm like, oh, but it's so pretty. It's from Creative Expressions. And it's part of their Sue Wilson Foundations collection, I guess. When I saw the kit that Spellbinders had, I knew I needed to get this paper from Creative Expressions. I knew it. So, and I'm glad I did. I'm wahoo kachoo. So we're gonna start pretty simple through crafting, and we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna show you the kit first, I think, because it is very limited. When Spellbinders is out making kits, they can only make so many, and they make them exclusively for us. Mark's mom got her cards because Mark is the CEO of Spellbinders. And during COVID, his mom has had nothing to do. So they've put her to work helping bundling all of these kits for you. God bless Mark's mom. And so some people had sent Mark's mom some cards, and we have forwarded them off to Spellbinders as a thank you. They were so, I didn't open them because they weren't addressed to me, but we sent them off to Spellbinders so that Mark could give it to his mom, because how thoughtful was that? So I've got just a whole bunch of stuff for you, and we will start with the kit, mainly just taking it out and showing you what's in it. And then we're really going to focus on embossing folders and die cutting today. I think that's really where we're going to play around and utilizing not only things from the kit, but that wonderful paper that Creative Expressions has. And you may already have something very similar to it. So I will tell you about that when we get there. Quickly, my phone call last week. I wish I could say it went better, but it did not. I told you it would be one of two things. Either they really wanted to hear what I have to say and I was going to be open to hear what they had to say, or it was a slap on my hand to kind of pacify me. And that's really what it was. I kind of felt like they patted me on my head, and it was like, okay, well, we're doing this because, well, somebody, that way we can say we listened to your grievances. But there was no open dialogue of, ideas or how we could fix things or how we could make things better or how we could get excited about what we were doing in the crafting industry and how to share that with everybody. Nope. So it is what it is. I have moved on. I resigned my position because I just cannot go forward with what is going on. And I'm a girl who stands by what she says, right or wrong. So anyway, I thought I'd let you know. It wasn't horrible if you weren't me. I'm like, really? This is what we're going to talk about? This is the conversation? Okay, well, gosh, I really have to go. It just frees up my schedule, more time to do more things for you guys in the store and everything else. So it is what it is. All right, winner chicken dinner before we get started for today. I have two of you from the YouTube 370, which was the stamps, the stencils, and those little dot stickers. Who knew, right? Okay, these two folks have won a $25 gift card to the store. Congratulations. You don't have to do anything to claim your prize. Not a thing. All you have to do is have an online account. And if you do, I've already put the money in your online account. Congratulations. Our first winner is Lynn, L-I-N, Willett. Lynn, Willett, is this you? Because if it is, well, wahoo kachoo, you are a winner chicken dinner. Yay! But you're not alone because we always pick two. Our second winner chicken dinner is Deborah. Deborah Decker. Oh my gosh, I love your names, ladies. I can pronounce them. Deborah Decker, is that you? Because if it is, you're a winner chicken dinner too. You and Lynn should be jumping up and down and wooting and having a great time. So what do we have to do? Winner chicken dinner dance. Ladies, if you are the winners, stand up. Come on, you can do it. I can't, I have to sit down, but because then the camera would have to move with me. It's a whole thing. And since I'm my own cameraman and I move them up and down, we just stay in one spot. I don't have the overhead and the around. And anyway, okay, you're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, kachoo. For you. Congratulations to the both of you. If you want an opportunity to be a winner chicken dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple and receive a $25 gift card, there is a little heart somewhere in this general vicinity. It has an SMS in it. Put your cursor over it. A subscribe button will come up, and I would so appreciate you subscribing to Scrapbooking Made Simple. I would so appreciate it. Just click subscribe, and then you can post a comment on this YouTube. All right, girls, congratulations. We're going to get started for today. I hope everybody loves what we have, and I'm going to tilt down and we're going to get going. See, I'm on my own, nothing fancy schmancy here. Oh my gosh. Okay. In fact, I just learned how to start making different different like front screens for some of my YouTubes. That was a whole aha moment for me. All right, I think we're gonna be okay there. I think we're gonna try there, maybe just a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna go with that. All right, let's show you, oh, see now maybe I'm too close. Let's show you a sample. How pretty is that, right? This is using product from the kit from Spellbinders and the upsell item. How pretty is that? Love the paper. This is the Creative Expressions paper. This is from the kit. This is part of the upsell. Okay, and then I have, oh, I might have to tilt back for this one. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back just a little bit because this is a big slimline-like card. This was made from the scraps of all the other cards that we made. Isn't that cute? Made from the scraps. Gotta love that, right? Okay, so let me put these aside and let me bring over the kit to begin with. This is the latest Spellbinders kit that we have for you. It's all inclusive. It has paper, it has dies, it has embossing folders, it has stamps, it has a little bit of everything in it. So I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna go through it with you so you see what you're going to receive when you purchase the kit. It has somewhere around $80 worth of product in there. And we always do them for $24.99. It's a value buy. And that's why they're limited. We can only sell, they only have so much product. And so we can only sell to what they can bundle to. Let's see if I do this, and this, and this, and that. Okay, so first things first, sequins, a lot of them. We're gonna have oodles of sequins, but remember, you can put these in alcohol ink and change the color of them. So you've got a whole jar of lovely sequins. Then we have got some cute little hearts. They're plastic, they're self-adhesive, just a cute little heart embellishment. And then we have some really pretty trim for you. Beautiful trim for you to use. All in the kit. And then we have these darling heart clippies. Really cute heart little clippies. And then we have not one, but 2 embossing folders. And I'm going to be playing with both of these today. So not one, but 2 embossing folders. And we have a stamp set and the dies to go with it. So a stamp and die set. Right there, that's more than the cost of the kit. Just this alone, if you were to buy just these 2 things, you would have spent more than the cost of the kit alone. And these stamps all pop out so that you're not stamping this whole image. You can pop out each individual little piece and then use the die to cut it out. And then we have the 6x6 paper pad. Love the paper pad. And oh my gosh, when you see that and the sage on the back and this one right here, when I saw these 2, it's like, oh, I know what paper has to go with it. I do. So you get that as well. And then you get your idea sheet and coordinating cardstock to make your card bases or formatting. All of this is your $24.99 price, and Mark's mom makes them, puts them together, helps put them together, and just so much going on. You've got a whole lot of stuff to play with, but please keep in mind that they are limited. We tend to sell out when they're gone for this price. All right, so I'm going to put these over to the side. I'm going to put these over to the side. I'm going to put these, and maybe this one. And I think I'm going to put these, because I don't think I'm going to play with these right now. I'll put those over there. Okie dokie, artichoke. Then there's the upsell item, which are the hearts. And yes, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hearts. This die set normally retails for $24.99. We have it on sale for, I think it's $9.99. And I will be playing with this again. This is not part of the exclusive kit. This is sold separately. This is if you want the hearts, you can have the hearts. But if you want the kit and you don't want the hearts, you don't have to have the hearts. Or maybe you don't want the kit, but you want the hearts. You got options, whatever. Maybe you want both of them. It's whatever makes your heart happy. So I am going to be playing with these today. All right, and I'm going to put that over there. And maybe put these. I just got to get myself kind of organized. Okay. I think the first thing I'm going to do is show you, well, I think the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the embossing folders. So embossing folders are one of the easiest ways to add texture and dimension to any project when all you're working with is paper. They are a super easy way. There's 2 of them. This one has kind of a floral motif, and this one is clouds. So completely different embossing folders. A floral, kind of a baroque motif versus clouds in the sky. Now I'm going to take a quick piece of paper, and I think I will use their piece of paper. And let's do and I'll use a piece of white. All right, that's good. So I'm going to emboss these just like normal, as if it was an everyday embossing, and that's all we're doing is adding texture and depth to the paper. So these open and close. You take your paper, put your paper inside. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. Take your paper, put your paper inside. You always know which way is the top way because, well, ideally embossing folders will have the brand name on the top. I'm going to bring over my Sizzix Big Shot machine. So this is the machine I'm using today. It is a manual die cutting machine. It no longer comes with the multi-purpose platform. It comes with a base plate and 1 shim. No longer on the tabs. Can you still buy this? Yes, you can. Do you need it? Only if you really want it. Now, on the multi-purpose platform or the base plate and shim that you have, there are directions, and it tells you what items you need to cut with this completely closed. Or do I need to open it to cut or emboss something else? Or do I need to open it? Because every time I take a tab away, I make the multi-purpose platform a little thinner so that depending on the depth of what I'm working with will make a difference on what tabs I use. I'm doing embossing folders right now. And so I know embossing folders are not shown on this tab. I know I need to open it up and say, do I see them on this tab? And why, yes, I do. Embossing folders are right here. So I know that this is the correct tab for me to start with. I'm going to put that down. I'm going to bring over a do not cut plate, which is my way of having a plate that I don't cut into all the time. When you're die cutting, you will cut into your plate. This started out as a beautiful, transparent, clear, crystal clear plate, but as I've cut into it, it starts to cloudy up from all the cut lines. And that's fine, that's what you want, but it also will slightly start to warp. So I use a do not cut plate that allows one plate to stay ideally completely flat, and that's what I put down first. Now, can I get both of these on here? Can I? Ooh, maybe by the hair of a chinny chin chin? Nope, I'm gonna do them separately. They're just too close. So, I've got my multi-purpose platform open up to my tab 1. If you have the base plate and one shim, you will not need to use your shim at all. I've got my do not cut plate down. I've got my embossing folder with my paper sandwiched in between it. I've got my cut plate on top. And because an embossing folder doesn't cut into anything, you could put your plates either way. You could have your cut plate here or your cut plate down there. It makes no difference. And I'm going to send it on through. So I'm rolling it on through, and it's just a hand crank, and it almost feels like butter. There's very little resistance to it. And before I do this one, I'm going to bring my clouds over, and I'm going to roll it through too. Okay, I think I'm gonna turn this the next time that way. All right, let me move this over here. So I've now embossed both of these. I open up my folder, and you should be able to see the image that's been embossed. Harder with the white, but you should be able to see the clouds. And all that's happened is that the paper, when sandwiched in between these two, the top and the bottom, and sent through the die cutting machine, the roller in the die cutting machine forced these in together, causing the paper to then be pushed into the negative spaces, giving you texture and dimension. And that is what an embossing folder does. They're great. They tend to be inexpensive, about $4.99 each on an average, and they last you a lifetime. If you never die cut, but you want to do embossing, you're going to need a die cutting machine. Embossing folders are truly wonderful, but you want to take it a step further. I hear you. I agree with you. So what can we do? Well, we have a couple options. Let's grab this one. And I'm going to take some ink. So it doesn't really matter what ink you use, preferably not a StazOn, because that's going to dry really quick. A permanent based ink is going to sit right on here and it's going to dry and it's not going to transfer. A dye based ink is more your friend. And what's a dye-based ink? Well, you've got a lot of Hero Arts inks are dye-based, Memento inks are dye-based, Lamphan inks are dye-based, Tim Holtz inks, his distress inks and his oxide inks are dye-based, and you don't have to stay loyal to a brand. Pick the colors that you want. Maybe you got a couple oxides, and maybe you got a couple Lamphans, and maybe you got a couple Mementos. Gather them all up, and that way you pick the colors you want. The inks will play together. They will get along well together. Now I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to take my very lightest color ink, and I'm just going to go all over, both sides, And then I'm gonna grab my darker ink, and I'm gonna hit it. I'm not gonna go all over like I did before, but I'm gonna kind of just go in there and add some of it. Both sides. And then I'm gonna grab my piece of paper, and just like I did before, I'm going to put my paper right in there, close it on up, bring over my Big Shot machine. I'm already open to tab 1. I've already got my plate down, my embossing folder with paper, my top plate, and I'm going to send it on through. Now I know some of you are saying, well, I would put 2 pieces of paper in, and you absolutely can. Up to you. And they're like, why would I put 2 pieces of paper in? Because when you open it, your ink has transferred, and you have to decide, Do you like that side? Or do you like that side? Which side works better for you? That side or that side? And no matter how many times you do it, it's never going to come out the same, even if you use the same inks. So let me do it again, and I always start with my lightest color ink. If I were to put my darkest color ink down first and then put my light color down, the dark ink would absorb the light color and you would never, ever, ever see it. So let me put my light down first. And no matter how hard you try, you're never gonna get the same look twice, which is kind of nice because you can make the same card again and again, but every time you're gonna have just a little bit of a different look to it, depending on how you put your ink. Okay, just go with it, Stacy, right? It's only paper, white paper, that's all it is. Put it in, close it up, bring my machine back over, and roll it on through. Now this is the Floral Baroque, and it's a super pretty. Never gonna be the same twice. So this one has more of the darker tones than this one. And then you just trim it out. And away you go. Poof. You have to decide, what do you like better? Now, easy to do, but can you mix colors? Because right now I'm just using colors that are in the same hue. Yes, of course you can mix colors. Let's play. So I'm going to bring out my darker, I'm going to bring out kind of a yellowy, because you all know me. If you know me at all, you know that I love my yellows. I usually start with my yellows. I'm going to clean this up because it still has some pinks on it, and my yellow is going to be my lightest color. So I want to make sure that that goes down first without any of my pinks on it. Baby wipe, easy peasy mac and cheesy. You can take a paper towel, dry it off if you don't want to wait for the plastic to dry, because that's what this is. It is a molded plastic. Let's bring over my yellow. This time my yellow is going to be the one that goes all the way down. All of it yellow, both sides. And I don't even know if I'm going to hit it with a light pink. Maybe I just do my dark and see what we get. This is Red Royal. So I'm absolutely blending color. And you just never know what we're going to get. But because it's only white paper, you don't feel so bad if it's like ho-hum. And the rule is you have to finish your card or your layout or your project. If you do something and you're like, meh, you have to finish. I know people who will sit there and watch TV and just make background after background after background and put them in a little folio, so when they're ready to craft, they just thumb through and pick the backgrounds that they want. You're making your own paper. Roll it right on through, and let's see what we get. Oh, it's so pretty. Let me trim it down. Love it when you add the yellow because it just adds some warmth to it. Okay, so we have one side, or we have the other. Up to you which one you like. Or maybe you just want it plain. Possible. Kind of depends upon what it is you're doing. It's always going to be different, and you've only used paper. You can do this, and what a dramatic effect it is. But let's pull that cloudy one out. And I'm going to do a throwback to a product that we had, gosh, is it last year or 2 years ago? It was an exclusive from Hero Arts. It was brought back just for us. I know many of you own it, either in the cube size or in the full-size pads. We had it in both. This is the pigment-based pastels. It is like a Hero Arts Unicorn ink, which is that beautiful pigment white, only with a touch of color. And I'm going to bring over my clouds. This is my cloud embossing folder. And I'm going to pull out some of this ink. It is no longer available. Trust me, I tried. But I know many of you already own it. And it is, again, it's the pigment-based ink. It's pastel yellow, pastel blue, pastel peach, pastel orange, or pastel pink, and pastel green. And then we also had it in the cube. So we had it full size and cube. I'm going to take these, and I'm going to do the same thing with my clouds. And I'm going to start with my blue. And I'm just going to hit my clouds. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go all over. Do one direction. I'm going to go all over. Do the whole thing. Maybe take a little bit out of my center cloud there, and then I'm going to add some yellow. So you may have these inks already. Grab a piece of cardstock, throw it in there, close it up, and let's see what we get. Bring back my die cutting machine. Open up to tab 1, my do not cut plate, my embossing folder with my paper, my cut plate or my top plate. Send it on through. And let's see what we get. Okay, oh, I got my finger in there. So, I don't even know if you'll be able to see this. Let's trim off my piece of pink. This is so soft and so subtle, but it makes such a beautiful background. I don't know if you can see it. Now the clouds are colored. It is so beautiful, and you may have this ink sitting there going, what do I do with this? It's beautiful. It made the most gorgeous background for my clouds. And my clouds are still bright white with this soft blue and yellow going behind it. Love, love, love it. If you have this ink, pull it out and play with it. Absolutely. It is amazing. And I would really like to have it back, but I'm really told I can't. Oh. That's one thing I'm going to have to look for next year is a replacement for this ink, because it just makes my heart happy. And it's so soft and so pretty. Okay, so that's playing with embossing folders, but let's take it a step up, shall we? Let's pull out some of the paper that we have from Creative Expressions. I'm gonna put this one away. Put this one away. And what did I do with my other one? Anybody see a green embossing folder? A little turn up. I'll borrow this one for now. This is one I opened a little earlier. Let's clean it up. So let's play with the paper that Creative Expressions has. It is a satin finish. It's not really a satin finish. I don't want to say it's a satin finish. It's a pearl finish, maybe. That's definitely different than a satin finish, without question. And we brought it in 5 different colors. It's gorgeous. I have gold, I have black, I have brand new sage. And the reason I had to have this is because when you see the paper in the kit, this went with it so beautifully, as did the rose gold. And then we have the icicle, which is a white. And like I said, it's more pearl than oh, found it. There it is. It's more pearl than it is. It's not satin. It's definitely, and it's not bright. It's subtle and elegant and beautiful, and it embosses like a dream. How heavy is it? It's not as heavy as you would think a pearlized paper would be. It says, I think, 230 GSM. I want to say that's maybe 100 pounds. I think that's what it would equate to. So it die cuts beautifully too, because it's not too thick and it doesn't crack, but we will get there. I just want to die cut with, or emboss with it. So cut me off a hunk. Bring my Big Shot back over. Open up. And send it on through. Do you have to go back and forth and back and forth? No. If you wanted to perhaps make it a little bit, make your embossing a little bit deeper, can you spray your paper? I don't know that I would spray the pearlescent or the pearl paper, but you could take and put maybe a shim on the bottom to help push it just a little, make it just a little bit tighter than before, just so it forces that embossing just a little bit more. Really up to you. Going back and forth isn't necessarily going to help it. Okay. It's beautiful. Trim it out. And you are good to go. There is no cracking on this paper. That is a happy, happy day. You can't say that about all pearl and satin and glitter papers and specialty papers. You can't. But there is no cracking on this at all. Now, because this paper has a coating on it, it is more of a non-porous material than a porous material. And what do I mean by that? Well, this is just plain old white paper, and an ink pad is going to soak into this paper and dry. That's what we like about ink pads and stamping, because they dry and they don't smear. If you were to put perhaps a dye-based ink on this paper, you would either have to let it dry for some time or it will smear. It's also possible that some dye-based inks will never dry on this paper. So what do? Well, you use a permanent based ink. A permanent based ink. So let me cut one more, let me emboss one more. Let me send it on through. Bing, bang, boom. bring over my machine. If you are confused about what die cutting machine to buy, I have a 2020 do's and don'ts of the Sizzix Big Shot machine. You absolutely are going to want to watch that. It is a long video, but if you are going to invest your money into a die cutting machine, at least learn about the Big Shot machines beforehand. And if you're thinking about a Spellbinder's machine or a Crafter's Companion machine, hopefully they have videos as well as in depth explaining the differences between or how to use their machines well. It's important. This is a big investment, a die cutting machine. Might be your biggest investment in your crafting arsenal after paper, because we all have too much paper. Okay, so now I have 2 of them. But I want to jazz it up a little bit. Can't take regular ink. May not dry. I need something called a StazOn or a permanent based ink. Archival is, I know some of the archival is also a permanent based ink. This is equated to a Sharpie marker or a Bic marker. When you go to write your name on your water bottle or your kid's lunchbox or you know, your camping gear, whatever you need to write your name on, usually you go get a Sharpie or a Bic. Imagine that in a stamp pad, in an ink pad. And what it allows us to do, and it's never 100% perfect, I want to let you know that. What it allows us to do is gently go over the top, hitting that embossing. So all of a sudden it shines through. And you add as dark as you want it to be. So you can see there's a big difference. Maybe you need subtle. Maybe you're making, I don't know, maybe you're making a wedding invitation and maybe you're making an anniversary card, but you have options. I can hear you. Why are you saying, Stacy, but why didn't you just open it up and put the ink right here and then send it through the machine? Well, because this ink is made for non-porous products. This embossing folder is non-porous. It has potentially already dried. I put my paper in there and it's not going to transfer the ink. A dye-based ink like we were using stays wet on here on the plastic. Why does it stay wet? Because a dye-based ink can't sink into the paper. So it's left there waiting for you to do something with it, which is why we put the paper in and we're able to transfer it. But this isn't going to transfer. It's meant to work on things that are non-porous. So instead of putting it in the embossing folder, now you're saying, well, how are you going to get that off? Well, with any luck, I'm going to take a little bit of hand sanitizer right now and go in there and clean it off. It's the only way to get it off would be with alcohol because it's an alcohol-based product. So no worries, I can get it off. And if you accidentally make that mistake, you can get it off. Just get in there with some alcohol-based product. Hand sanitizer is what most people have on hand right now. And rub, 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 and it'll come off. But if you want the look that we were doing, where that embossing comes up, you've got to do it after the fact if you're using a non-porous specialty paper. It will work better for you. Now, what if you thought, or have you ever thought about doing a black on black look? Let's pull out my black paper. Ooh, I love it, it's so pretty. This is so pretty. They call it graphite. It's just yummy. It's 20 sheets. I want to say it's $10 and then it's on a YouTube Yummy sale, but it's 20 sheets of paper and it's A4 size because it comes out of the UK. So it's a little bit off of an 8.5 by 11. It's a little bit longer and a little bit narrower, but it's pretty close to an 8.5 by 11, but it is A4 size. So let's cut a hunk. And let's do this one. And we'll just trim it down for a minute. So I know that there's paper and embellishments that come with the kit. I get that. But, well, I have samples to show you how pretty everything is. I want to show you how to use some of the stuff. So embossing folder, my multi-purpose platform, open to tab 1. If you want shims, you can have them. If you don't, if you want a little deeper, you don't need it. If you have the newer Big Shot machine, you're going to use just your base plate with no shims at all. Oops, let's put that on top. And sandwich it in between, because everything we do is a sandwich. Always sandwich. So let me roll it on through. And then I'm just going to take it out. And then I'm going to do another one on the way back. And send it on back. So now I've made 2 of the same. Oh, somebody's computer's on. Okay, 2 identical. Can you see the embossing on there? It's really very pretty. But I want to raise that up a little bit. I want to make it even more. Have you ever thought of taking your StazOn and going on top of your black? Now what do you see? It almost looks like you've got a gloss finish on it. It's so regal. It's so beautiful. Not that this isn't, but maybe you want that embossing to pop just a little bit more. How pretty is that? And so easy to do. All I did was emboss it, and with my StazOn, right over the top. To bring that embossing to life, it just jumps. It absolutely pops. Will it work on cardstock? Not so much. Typical, just regular black cardstock, you would use a dye-based ink, which is going to seep in, and it's just going to disappear. You're never even going to know you inked it. But on non-porous paper, StazOn doesn't sink into the paper. It dries on top of the paper, giving you that beautiful finish. So pretty. The flowers are just gorge. Look at that. Oh, it makes my heart happy. And you could keep it just the same. That's the point of having options. Who would think that with an ink pad, a permanent ink pad, that I bet most of you have, and if you don't, a StazOn ink pad would be something important to have in your arsenal. It would be one of those foundation items, one of those basic items that you really want to have. And you choose. You get to make the decision. It's your project. What works best for the project you're working on? I love the black on black. And then we have the black on gold. And then we have just the gold. And then we have the blended colors. And the plain colors. And it becomes, well, what side do you like best? Because you can have both. Same thing here. Could have turned it over. Let's see. Okay, let me do this one. Could have turned it over. Let's see if we do the back side, what happens. It's so pretty. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And I've seen it before. You would think it would get old. It doesn't. Okay. The back side of the folder. Oh, what do we think of that? Versus that. You tell me. Right? Can't do this with anything else but a StazOn because the ink has to sit on top. Front side, front side, back side. Ooh. All right. So maybe some of you who have been crafting for as long as I have, this was the only aha moment you're going to have in this entire class. It's possible. You've been crafting since dirt like me, and this may be the one takeaway for you. Others, well, this may be the first time you have ever seen anybody do any kind of embossing with a folder, and you are just going, wow. I know, and the folders come in your kits. I know. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, so that's embossing folders in beautiful, beautiful, beautiful paper. Now we're gonna move on to the dies. So these heart dies, these heart dies are what they call an upsell item, meaning it doesn't come in the kit, but if you want it because it's a great price, you can buy it, absolutely. But it wasn't included in the kit. I'm going to be using these also with the beautiful paper from Creative Expressions. Love, love, love. So what do I want to use? Do I want to play with some of the green or the rose? Oh, so pretty. I don't know. Let's take some of the rose and see what I do with that. Just never know what's going to happen. So first things first, the paper does not crack. If I want to score it, yes, I know you all have a bone folder. I have what's in front of me. I go with whatever's at hand. Oh, my fingers are dirty, but if you want to score it, it scores beautifully and it just doesn't crack. Lovely, right? So if you're making cards, here's an A5 card for you, just so you know. Cut it down a little bit, and so if you like bigger cards, well, happy day, here it is. But of course you can cut it down to a smaller card. You can make an A2 card out of this and an A6 card without any problem. Love the fact that it scores easily. Now, what does a die cutting machine do? Well, you know, I'm just gonna let's grab that paper again. What does a die cutting machine do? These are dies. There's this little ridge on it. That little ridge goes against the paper. When it's sent through the machine, the roller in the machine makes that pressure so hard that it forces that little ridge, hard to believe, but it's gonna cut this paper. Amazing. I know, crazy. Amazing. Let's bring my machine back over and just cut one really, really, really quick. This time when I look at my multi-purpose platform, I see that I want to do wafer dies. That's what this is. It's a wafer die. So I'm going to keep my platform completely closed. And if you have the new machine, you're going to use your base plate with the one shim that they give you. This time it is important where I put my plates. I do want my do not cut or my cut plate down first, because this die is going to cut right through that paper and it's going to leave a little heart shape in that once was clear plate. It's not clear anymore because every time I cut, it leaves a little bit of a marking behind, and that's normal. My do not cut plate on top, which will help it feed through smoothly. As your plates, you use them, they warp. They'll start warping. And if you're using two plates that are really warped, you kind of have to wedge it in underneath. But if you always have one plate that you try to keep as cut free as possible, you always have one plate that will help slide it through the machine, easy peasy. Now, creaks and cracks are possible. And this die is considered to be an open frame die, which means that there's no decoration in the center. The die is easy. It's not very intricate. It doesn't have any other die pieces in the center to try and cut. And just like that, it's cut my heart. So simple. And because it comes with 7 shapes, you then could take, I might save that, you then could take the next one down, put it in the center, and if I do this, what's going to happen? It's going to cut a frame and a center. Sandwich it on up. Hopefully I didn't move it too much. Bring it back, send it through. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. Now I've got a frame and a solid. But what if I took the next size heart down, because these nest into each other and you have 7 of them to play with? And I close that up, bring my machine on over, and I could just continue to go smaller and smaller and smaller until I got down to the smallest little heart. Put that in there and do that there. I mean, there's things I could make. But I just wanted to show you how dies work. And again, the hearts, there's 7 of them, so I could continually get smaller and smaller and smaller and keep making frame after frame after frame until I get down to the smallest die. Or I could put the smallest die in there and have a really big frame around. You have options with dies. It's very nice when they nest. They give you a lot of flexibility. But what if you wanted to make a card base? What if you are a card maker and you love this paper and you want to make a card base out of your hearts? How would you do that? So easy. Here's my large die. I have already taken my paper. I've already scored it. Do I want to do it this way? Yeah, so I'm going to trim off some of the side. Trim off some of the side. Cut it down just a little bit. Oh, gosh, by the hair of a chinny chin chin. Oh, by the hair of a chinny chin chin. We'll see how far I get. That was really close. Okay, so I'm still scored. Almost looks like a card base right there. But I want to make my base the shape of my heart. How do I do that? Here's my score line. Here's the heart die. If I put my heart die right here and I cut it out, what's going to happen? I'm going to get 2 pieces to cut out. I'm going to have 2 hearts. I'm going to end up having two hearts that cut right out. But how do you make a card if they've cut out and they're single? I need them to stay attached. I need it to stay attached. So how do I do that? I take my die and I slightly raise it above the score line. Can you see how my die is slightly above my score line? That means anything below the die line isn't going to get cut. If I move it here, well, then it's going to cut out 2 heart shapes. If I move it here, it's going to leave that score line intact. So let's do it. Maybe somebody just got married. There was a lot of honking. I'm hoping somebody got married and they weren't honking because they were upset at another driver. My paper scored, my score line at the top, and my die resting slightly above my score line. And then my do not cut plate. Oh, I'm off the side. Let's get back on my paper. Think we're close enough? All we can do is try. And bring over my machine and send it on through. Now, if this was super heavy pearlized paper, it might have trouble cutting through 2 sheets. You're like, well, why would it have trouble cutting through 2 sheets, Stacy? Well, it can only cut things as deep as the little line here. That's what's doing the cutting. If you try to cut leather that's this thick, well, you only got something this deep to get in. It ain't gonna happen. So the thicker your paper is, the less of an opportunity you have to cut 2 sheets at once. Does that mean you want to roll it backwards? You can. But this paper isn't so thick that you're going to have that problem. And there's my card base. But you're like, yeah, I don't like that little top right there. It doesn't work for me. I'd like my heart to have a rounded lobe. I get it. Totally. I'm with you. I hear you. Now it becomes a matter of how do you want to decorate? What is it that you want to do? We can certainly take another piece of our paper. And let me put that there. Let me put this here, bring this back over. Can certainly do that. And just cut out a single heart. It's only going through 1 sheet of paper. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. And I could tape it right to the top so that only on the back do you see where the score line is. Only on the back. That way when somebody gets the card, it looks like a whole heart and not like it got chopped off. And I would just tape this right to the front. Maybe you want to add some of the beautiful paper here. Ooh, what do I want to use? I like the pink, 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 pink. Oh, maybe I should have done the sage. Oh, the sage would have been beautiful with that. Or the gold would have been beautiful with that. Oh, no, I guess I'll use this one. I think, just not positive. Yeah, we're gonna go with it. I can take my heart, my paper, my heart, see how it's on the angle? If I do it this way, it's not going to fit the paper. Not going to fit. It's going to go off the side. So I just need to turn it on an angle so it fits my paper perfect. Put it down, close it up, send it through. And now I have a top piece here with the beautiful pearl as part. So maybe I like that. Maybe I'm happy with that. Should I tape that down? Okay, so what if I just take some Stacy tape real quick and tape that down? So Stacy tape is just a double-sided adhesive. Double-sided tape. Super strong. A little forgiving, not much. And you would do a much better job at taping it down than I am. I don't need to use sticky dots, although you could if you wanted to, because this is not an intricate die. And close it up, lay it down, and put it on. There's the start of my card. But what if I wanted a window out of this? Can I do that too? Well, of course I can. What if I wanted to cut a window out of this? Now I can't keep them closed. I can't send it through the machine closed. Can't do that, because if I do, it's going to cut a window out of the front and a window out of the back. It's going to put a hole in my card. No, I have to open it up and then put my die down so that it doesn't cut into the backing of my card. Let's give that a whirl. Oh, am I going to get it through? Am I going to get it through? Oh, by the hair of a chin, 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 maybe. Ah, just a little too big. My die is just a little too wide for my machine to do that. And if I close it up, well, then I've cut through and I've taken out both pieces. So when you're getting ready to die cut, be sure that what you want or where you want is going to work. Now, if you have a wider machine, you're going to have no problem. But on this one is a no-go. just a little too wide. And if I turn it this way to make it go through, well, then this is off the side, and that's not gonna work either. So then we finish it up the way we have it. And I can grab maybe some, I don't know, some of my black. Or some of my white. I don't know. Let's try my black. So I'm going to take my black and cut my heart out of it. You're like, why are you, there's not on the top, there's not on the bottom. What is the point? Well, I can't put a window in that one. But I can make a banner for it. All the way across. Banner. Only way to get the banner to fit is to cut it out so your sides match. Now it's up to me. What do I want to cut off? Where do I want my stripe to go through? And I think before I even do that, I'm going to bring back over my embossing folder. I'm going to throw, I think I'm going to throw it in like that to get the most I can. I'm going to, oh, you think, take a little bit off. There we go. So I'm going to fit it in there, and I've got almost all of it in there. I'm going to bring back over my machine. I'm going to open it up because I'm using a embossing folder to tab 1. Put one cut plate down. This is my do not cut plate, and because embossing folders don't cut into anything, it doesn't matter how, which plate goes on top, which plate goes on the bottom. I'm going to send it through. I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to set that, I'm going to let that dry for just a minute. While I let that dry, maybe I take, do I have a little piece of this somewhere that I haven't cut up yet? Oh, I do. I have a little piece right here. Let's take my part one more time. Roll it on through. So a heart obviously doesn't look like a rectangle. So it's not like you can just mat on top of it if you want it to go edge to edge, because it's got the curves. A circle is going to be the same way. You can't take a trimmer and just trim out your rectangle or your square, wrong tab. You can do that with a rectangle, a square. You cannot do it with anything that's got a curve. Your trimmer isn't going to cut that curve for you. So the way to get it done is just to continue to cut your die. So let's roll that on out. Doesn't matter to me if it's not all, if it didn't fit all the way, if I'm off some of it, I'm okay with that. So now let's bring this back over. And how wide do I want it to be? How wide do I want it to be? Well, let's definitely cut below the V. Definitely cut below the V. Now this is where you could use a trimmer. I freehand it. I know you're all like, really? Yes, really. And see, it's going to let you fit. It's going to let you fit. But you're saying, wow, that's an awful lot of black. Okay. Let's find where it fit here. And let's trim this out too. So really, I only needed to use a piece of paper that was wide enough for what I wanted to do. Oh, my hands are dirty. Now I'm going to trim this down just a little bit more, so I'm able to mat it on top of that black piece. I think I want to show just a little bit more of the black since I did that beautiful embossing. So I'm just going to trim this down again. And because it was cut from the same heart, the edges are always going to line up. And then I can put it across. And again, where it lines up on the heart is where I put it. Oh, is it backwards? Yes, yes it is. No, I should be able to get it in there. There we go. And then on top. And then tape it down. If I want it thinner, if I want it thicker, would you rather have had it going across? You can do that too. You then just have to recut so that it matches the angles and the roundness of the heart. So easy to do. So easy to do. And I've still got my card base. And then it's up to me. What do I want to do? Do I want to stamp on top of this? Do I want to use one of Ozzie Andrews? Do I want to grab a white piece of paper and add one more layer of white here so that I can then stamp on it? Not wide enough. Oh, not wide enough. So I'm just going to cut me a little piece. I don't need to use a lot. I don't need to cut that full heart. I just need to cut enough for me to be able to make a mat that's going to layer. That's all I need. Put that off to the side. Move this. Maybe save that and stamp away. Or cut away. How about somewhere around there maybe? We'll see. It's only paper. But you have to think about how to utilize your dies to the best of their ability. Rectangles and squares are easy. Matting on hearts when you want it, or circles, or ovals, when you want it to go edge to edge, it's a little more thought in that. A little more thought process has to go in. Oh, so now I'm really going to trim this on down. So I'm going to put this one. Kind of line up my edges. So I know I need to take this bottom off. And I'm going to take a little bit more. And a little bit off my top. And now I've got my mat here, my mat here, my mat here, and I'm free to stamp away or make my mat smaller. It's entirely up to you. Whatever makes your heart happy. Take one of Ozzie Andrews' stamps. Let's see. I happen to like this one, Fearless, and be bold and be confident. So let's grab my block real quick, put it on a block, and I'm going to stamp it on white paper. And I like Be Fearless. These are acrylic stamps. I'm going to lay down my stamps face down so I can see the alignment of them. Smooth side facing you. The smooth side of the stamp needs to be facing you, not the side that has all the ridges. The smooth side of the stamp is facing you. I line it where I like it. I put my block down and poof, instant presto sticko. Is that a, oh, but it's too big, too wide, too far apart. So let's put it here and let's put it here to make sure that I get it on there. And then let's go poof. Now, can I use a StazOn for this? Sure, but it's paper. And remember, paper loves dye-based inks because it sits right down and it's super fast. Dries really, really fast. I've got my Memento ink, which is just it's an all-purpose ink. Memento is a great ink. It doesn't move with water. It stamps beautifully. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. Of course, I've got my fingers all over this. 1, 2, 3, ABC, good all over pressure and up. Oh, that works for me. And now let's take a little bit of Stacy tape just to get this down. So I'm going to take my embossed black and tape it to my pink. Let's get some Stacy tape on the back. And kind of line up that curvature. And then put some tape on the back of my white and line that up to my pink. And kind of match up my curvature on the side of the heart. I think that one I'm just slightly off. We'll do a quick little shoop and then line it up here. So you can use this for decoration in your mini album. You can make a mini album doing this because you can continually add pages and make a heart little mini album. A darling card. Find my edges. I wish I was standing up to do this. And I'm good. Easy to do, really it is. But when you're working with something that has got a curvature to it, learning how to do an edge-to-edge mat can be tricky. It can. Use the tools that you have, and the tool that you have is the die. It really is. It's the die. It lets you. Makes it so simple. Okay, so let's put that one off to the side. And then let's get, do I want to do the gold? So what if I took the gold? What if I took the gold and I scored it in half? Scored it in half. Bone folder works, yes. No cracking. This time I'm going to take the next size down. I'm going to take the next size down. So let's cut it. Zoop, zoop, zoop. And let's cut it here. And I'm going to save these pieces for something else. And let's die cut it. And again, I want to make it into a card base or a gift tag or a Christmas present or for a package. It's not necessarily Christmas, but whatever. Maybe you're going to put a gift card inside of it. So again, I've held my edges off my score line. There's my score line. There are my edges. I'm going to hold it off. If I do this, it's going to cut 2 hearts. If I do this, it's going to cut 2 hearts that aren't separated. It's going to leave that score so it folds. And because this is a smaller heart, easy peasy on the machine. So let's do that. Voila! Done. Now let's take another piece of gold. And I just am going to cut that heart. Where'd I put the heart? It was here 2 seconds ago. I reached for the gold. Okay, well, I know it's here. Really? Really? Where'd it go? Did you see it? I hear you saying, Stacy, oh, hello. If it was any closer to me, it was on my gotcha. Okay, if it was any closer to me, holy smokes, artichokes. Okay, so this is a gotcha tool. Everybody's seen it by now. This is mine. It holds all your dies. It's magnetic. It's lovely. It's made by me. Spellbinders made it for me, but it's mine. They don't sell it. They can't. It's mine. And it was an improvement. Oh, but I want to... No, I need this heart. It was an improvement over the one that they originally came out with, which is a diamond shape, and it was just awkward. So let me cut this heart out so we can put that over the top. Doesn't matter if it's straight or crooked. I'm cutting an entire piece out. So as long as all of the die is on the paper, I'm good. Easy peasy. Doesn't even feel like you're die cutting because it's an open frame die. Out it goes. I'm going to put this back on my gotcha. So when I ask you where I put it, you just yell at me. It's okay. Ooh, I'm probably going to keep that one. And now I can tape this onto there so that you have a full heart and not a little half heart. So let's take a little bit of Stacy tape here. sure that looks good. It does. Put a little tape here. And a little tape here. Nice thing about my tape is that it's super strong. The liner comes off really easy and you are able to actually tear it. Well, that liner came off super easy. You're able to tear it with your hands. You do not need to use any type of scissors, like a red line tape. Red line, you're gonna need scissors to cut. My tape's a little bit longer, a little bit stronger, and a little less money than most. But if you've got other double-sided tape, it's going to work just as well. But lots of people like mine, I will say that. Okay, so there it is. Now I want to cut my window. Okay, now I want to cut a window in it. Maybe that size. I have several sizes that I could cut a window with. I could do this one here and have less of a frame, or I could go down a size and have more of a frame. It is I could go down even smaller and have a super little frame and a super little window and lots of frame. But I think I'm gonna go with this one. Bring my machine back over. Remember, you have to open your card base up. And see, no cracking. Open your card base up. Lay it flat. Line your heart up where you want it. Put your do not cut plate over the top. Send it through. And remember, we are asking for it now to go through 2 sheets of paper. Little creaks and cracks are fine. I can roll it back. And now I've got an aperture there. Then it becomes, what do you want to do? There's lots of things I could do. I could take there's tons of things I could do. I could roll it through our embossing folder and then ink the front of it to where you would have I could ink the front of it to where you would have something like that. I could take Ozzie Andrews stamps, and let's find a stamp that I like. So he's got these sentiment stamps, and they're really lovely. I picked 6 for the worldwide launch. Everything from home and family to sympathy to thankful, congratulations. This one is all about fearless and confidence and be bold. There's a happy birthday. So what do I want to use? I like grateful. So I could take my fearless off and put it back on. So these are going to be retailing out at $5.99 when they finally hit the market. $5.99. We have them at $4.99, and then another 20% off of that, making each of the sentiment stamps $4. For a sentiment stamp, that's a holy smokes artichokes. So I like my grateful. And what if I opened this up and I grabbed my StazOn and I grabbed my gush pad and I, right over the top, grateful. Grateful. Oop. Grateful. And I just came in and randomly put what if I just randomly put grateful all over? I have to use the stays on because of the paper that I'm using. I do. And then what else is on that one? Confidence, fearless, congratulations, thanks, grateful. Oh, and then what if we took that little heart? What if we took the little one? What if we took the little one? And we did it on, oh, I don't know what paper makes my heart happy in here. I don't know, they're all a little busy. I want something. I don't know, it's only paper. All we can do is try, right? What if I cut my little heart out of this one? Put my heart back, bring my machine over, and I'm just gonna cut my little tiny heart out of this. Well, it doesn't matter. Roll it through. I can just roll it back really quick because it's so small. Pop it out. Put my die back where I found it. Bring over my image. And on here is to you. So I have grateful going all the way around. Then what if I popped this right in the middle and it's stamped grateful to you. There might even be a for you here somewhere. Grateful to you, or I'm so grateful, grateful to you. Let's just do the to you. And let's bring over my little block. And I'm going to bring over my little die cut. And I'm going to put my grateful, my to you, right on top of it. And let's pick it up. And let's ink it up. It's the first time I'm using this stamp, so I'm going to stamp off just a couple times to make sure I get a really nice image. There we go. And let's just go in there. And down. Oh, yay, yay, yay. Oh, okay. And what if I took, can you see how you can just go, 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 go? What if I took the next size up and I did that out of, I knew I have a little scrap of black here somewhere. I know I didn't throw it away. I said I'm going to keep that, and I meant it, but did I really mean it? Oh, there it is. You think I can do it? It's by the hair of a chinny chin chin, but all we can do is try. Let's bring our machine back over. Let's roll it through. All we can do is try. It's only paper. Oh, but I don't have my cut plate down, or my do not cut plate. Let's put that down. Too thin, wouldn't roll through. And then let's find my do not cut plate and let's go. When you're looking at dies and embossing folders, you really have to think yes, it's a sharp, yes, it's a heart, yes, you know you can cut hearts, but what more can you do to it that's going to make it worth your investment? What more can you add to it? How can you elevate it to something that it wasn't before? Oh, yay. Okay, I'm very happy with this. Maybe I take this home and give this to Mr. SMS tonight. I usually don't actually make a card, so maybe I take this home to him. He'll ask me what's the problem. His first question will be, what do you want? Oh, let's see. There we go, right side. Gosh, I'd give anything to be able to stand up to line these things up. And then let's put that there. And let's put this here. So we've been playing with the paper from Creative Expressions. And we've been playing with the die. Well, the paper from Creative Expressions, we've been playing with the die. Oh, I'm off. I'm not on center. You think I can get it up quick? Quick. Ooh, quick. Okay, let's try again and see if I can get it centered. Is that better? Kind of, sort of, maybe. If I was standing up, it would be. But how cute is this to do? And with the kit, you've got paper in that kit, and I could take the little heart embellishments wherever they went to, my little hearts, and I could add a couple little hearts to the side, and the paper is so lovely, and the embossing folders add that beautiful texture, and the black on black is stunning. Black on black is a wahoo kachoo. It really is. And you have lots of options. And then when you tack in for an unbelievable price, I mean, really, I've got them packaged over there. They're all lovely and packaged. When you look at 17 stamps for $4, and they're sentiments that you are going to use, they're sentiments that are practical, useful, you're good to go. Oh my gosh, we did so much. We embossed with regular inks. We embossed blending inks. We embossed with just the pearlized paper. We embossed with pearlized paper and then we ran StazOn over it. We embossed with black pearlized paper and then put StazOn over it, which totally made the embossing just jump. We die cut a big card, no window. We learned how to get our edges. I mean, you could go across and just cut, absolutely, but you have the die to do it. Just cut yourself a thin piece of paper and go. We cut little hearts. We stamped on top of the metallic pearlized paper, knowing that we had to do it in StazOn. And we stamped with Ozzie Andrews stamps. You probably have some of this, or if you've never done it before, what a great opportunity. This is a great kit to get you started. All right, so I already showed the kit. So, kit. Hearts, sold separately. Just zoom back just a little bit. Hearts sold separately, $9.99, regularly $24.99. Stamps, six different styles, six different sentiments. I think that I picked the six because there's more than that. I picked the six that I thought were top notch, that these were the best, and these are a worldwide launch. $4 or an I Want It All, regularly $5.99 each, so 6 times 6 is 36, as opposed to 4 times, so $36 on sale for 24 bucks, all of them. And then the papers from Creative Expressions. I'll tell you right now, the rose gold and the sage match the paper that come in the Spellbinders kit like butter. So does the gold. The gold is great. And then I added the black and the white because who doesn't need pretty, shiny, shimmery, beautiful, metallic-y, but not too metallic-y, black and white paper. All right, so that's what we have for sale. Let's do samples. Ooh, so I already showed you this one. And then we have here where they've used the stamp that comes in the kit to make their own background paper. They stamped and die cut out the key that comes in the kit. So what we've used here is in the kit or is part of Ozzie Andrews' stamps. Look at how pretty that is. I didn't want everybody to think it was just a Valentine's Day kit. Sure, you can make Valentine's Day cards with it, and that's why we're doing it now and not in January, so we have time to get it to you. But it's so much more than Valentine-y. Look at how pretty is this happy anniversary. And again, the sentiments are using Ozzie Andrew. The paper is from the kit. The heart is the add-on. The gold is the Creative Expressions. The clip is in the kit. This paper's in the kit. The rose gold is the Creative Expressions. So pretty. And if you've never crafted before, this is a great way to get started. Even if you buy the kit and you don't use the embossing folders right away, you will have what you need to start creating. And everything is coordinated together so there's no guessing. They even give you cardstock. The sequins are in there. The wings and the and the key are in there. The kits usually sell themselves, but I wanted to give you more than the kit. I want you to see what more you can do with the dies and the embossing folders, because some of you, like I said, are new, and some of you are right in the middle of your crafting journey, and maybe you've stumbled like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this done? How do I cut that? How do people make a card out of a die? Did you know you could ink up embossing folders? Half of you are saying yes, and half of you are saying, well, I do, but I didn't ever think to ink both sides. Or no, I've never seen that before. Again, these are the stamps. They did what I did. They made a background using stamps. And the stamp comes in the kit. All of these cards were made using one kit. Let me tell you, you can get a lot out of that kit. If you are thrifty with paper, if you know how to manipulate it, you are going to get ample. Look at how cute. And this is with the cloud folder. And then cut through. And how soft and how sweet is that? And look at how beautiful is this. Just gorgeous, right? It really is beautiful. Has nothing to do with Valentine's Day at all. It's a With Sympathy card. And this is Ozzie Andrews Couture Creations sentiment stamp. Be fearless. Are you ready? So, oh, am I sticking? Am I sticking? Please don't. Oh, she's got it. Doris, really? Okay, the little clippy comes off. The heart goes up. Up. Heart goes up and stays behind, getting there. There we go. Ta-da! All done with Couture Creation sentiment stamps, the die and stamp set, all the paper that comes with it, the cute little clip to keep it closed. I wish I had known that it was clipped. And then up and in place. Ah. Okay, Miss Doris, how'd you get it to stay? There we go. Like that. And then look at how beautiful is this. All from the kit, except for the sage paper. I told you that paper is beautiful with this kit. Cut out. These were just freehand cut out. This is from the trim. All right, you guys. I'm gonna tilt on up and I'm gonna zoom on back and say, all right, so for some of you, this was just 2 hours of, well, I'll just hang with Stacy for a while. I get that. But for some of you, this truly was an eye-opening moment for some of this that you just didn't know you could do. And you may already have things to do it with at home that you can grab right now and start playing with. But if you want that kit for $24.99, $80 retail value, you need to order it. And if you want the dies are also limited. They're $9.99. You need to order them. And then we've got the worldwide launch on Couture Creation sentiment stamps. And I've got the Creative Expressions, I think they're calling it their Foundations Pearl card. And we have limited quantity on this too. So, you guys, I hope there was something in here that made you go, Because if you went, then maybe you take what I've shown you and you even take it to a next level. Or you take what I've shown you and you said, that doesn't look as scary as I thought it was going to be. It's not. It's only paper and ink. You can do this, and as you can see, you have options. So, it's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I will see you next week. Oh, what's coming next week? Swoon. But that's then, and this is now. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful evening, and thanks for hanging with me. Bye.